Yo, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. This your Panathinaikos, Chelsea review. We won by 4 goals to 1. Very comfortable performance. I mean, starting with the lineup, he went with Jorgensen. I think for the most part, my predicted starting 11 was bang on the money, but the only difference was Tosin didn't play and Cucurella came in for Tosin from my predicted 11. But other than that, I think it was pretty much the same. We kind of lined up in a three. We lined up in a 3-3-4 formation for the most part because I think Cucurella went into midfield. Enzo was the deepest of the midfielders, and then he had Dewsbury Hall and Cucurella, either side of him. And then you looked at the forward line, Mudryk, Felix, Neto, and Nkunku. Your typical team B for the Conference League games. But we started this game off on the back foot for a bit. Panathinaikos, I think, home advantage being the home team, they look to control a lot of the tempo of the game. They were bopping us around. They were actually, for like 10 minutes into this game, we barely saw a lot of the ball. I think we hung in there. They had a big opportunity off the onset. Like once the game started from that set piece, they had that opportunity. Jorgensen did well to claw that away. And then after a while, we just settled into the game. We settled into our game, our system. These guys were just playing the ball in between the lines. I mean, today, Badia Chile, I think that second half performance against Liverpool has really inspired this guy because we're seeing, again, not to get carried away, but it's only been 2 games, but you could just see him playing with a bit more confidence. And sometimes that's all you need. You need one good, 20, 30 minutes of a game to just snap back into your quality. And then, you see a major improvement. I think today, for the most part, everyone kept the ball really tidy. We weren't giving it away needlessly. We played well, man. The defenders, Desasi was on it. Didn't really make too many mistakes. Kept it simple. But Yashila, like I said, he kept playing that ball into midfield first time, left foot, right foot. Like it didn't even matter. He just kept finding his midfielder. He kept finding his man time and time and time again. We were playing out from the back, and it was so comfortable. It was nice to watch. It was really pleasing on the eye. We were just on point. Vega, look, Vega is just a good addition to this team. I mean, the guy can play left back, left center back. He could play center back. He could play left midfield, defensive midfield, as a number 8. The guy is the definition of a Swiss Army knife that Maresca's always been craving. And, he's just comfortable in everything he does. You go into midfield, Enzo definitely had, his best game of the season. But again, I think when it comes to Fernandez, that's the role you want to see him in. That's the role you want to have him play as your deepest, line playmaker. And one thing I noticed was I was saying to myself when the game was going on, is Fernandez just maybe more suited to like European games because the tempo might be a bit slower when you compare it to like the tempo of the Premier League. So he might have enough, more time on the ball. He might have a bit more space to operate in. But I think the position that he was playing in today was perfect. You didn't have to see Enzo doing shuttle runs, chasing, the goalkeeper trying to close down. Nah, you want Enzo in that first phase, receiving the ball on the turn, finding his runners, finding his man. Time and time again, we just kept beating the press. Dewsbury Hall, tidy performance. Like he didn't do anything awful today. Like he was effective. That ball to Felix to set up that first goal was sublime, and he just kept doing the right things. He didn't look as clumsy as the Dewsbury Hall we've seen in games prior. He just kept it really simple. He kept it effective. You look at Cucurella in that midfield row. That guy is just that Cucurella. I'm so happy Pochettino played him in that cup game to prevent that move to Man United from happening. Because for someone of his quality, like you can understand there might be times where, okay, the confidence isn't really there. And you take into account when he first moved to the club, you're moving from Brighton to Chelsea, different, culture. It's a different environment. Now you're in the big leagues, and then I think there was a situation where, he had people, messing with his family. I don't know if it was like a burglary or something like that. But all these things can unsettle a player, and it can make him look as pretty average. And Cucurella for me, he's always had the quality. You see him when he played for Brighton. The guy, tactically, he was immense. Possession wise, he kept the ball. He didn't lose the ball, and he's a warrior. He goes into every tackle. He's aggressive. He's got the tenacity. Everything good you want to describe in a defender, Cucurella has that for you. And for him to be playing that inverted role, I've always said this. Cucurella plays that role better than Gusto would, better than James would, because he's just intelligent like that. He has the ability and he has a quality to actually just play. He has the it's just I don't know what else to describe or how else to describe Cucurella. I just think he's an immense player. When you look at Neto, he kept losing the ball time and time again in the first half. Honestly, that first half, we really struggled to get our wingers into the game. I think Mudryk was having a quiet game. Neto was having a quiet game. Felix wasn't as influential as well. Nkunku was non-existent. There was not enough, supply to the forward line, and it just kind of looked a bit dry. We were lucky not to go into the first half, maybe like a goal down, but come second half, you just see, I don't know, whatever Maresca said at halftime, work the treat. Long gone are the days where we come off of second halves and we're looking worse. We come out, bang, we hit Panathinaikos, bang, we hit him again, bang, we hit him again. And it was very impressive, just good goals, clinical finishing. You look at someone like a Mudryk in this game, had his 2 assists, had his goal, and he was just electric for the most part. He kept creating opportunities, trying to beat his man. I'm really impressed with the way Maresca has handled the Mudryk situation, because clearly he's the only coach right now who's able to get anything out of Misha. And it just might be the reverse psychology saying, hey, Mudryk is just Mudryk. It's not about quality. It's just more about implementation. And he has really taken that on board. 5 assists, 1 goal, 6 goal contributions already this season. And it's looking like he might really have his best and most productive season in the Chelsea shirt. And I'm just enjoying, players playing themselves into form, giving themselves options, because now you can see that left side, it's not just Sancho. It's looking like now it's not on lock for you no more. Because if Mudryk keeps performing like this, yeah, that's competition on that left. There's competition on that right. There's even some competition in the number 10 role. Now, that's Palmer's to lose, because, see, in today's game, you look at Joao Felix and you see the good and the ugly in his game. You see him being able to, finish, and then you see the bad when he just tries to do too much. Some of these turns in midfield, and it's just, keep it simple. Like, I understand you're a guy who likes to play with so much flair and, electricity, but sometimes just keep it simple. Just play the simple pass. Just turn normally and just play the ball, because you have so many good things, so many good qualities, and then you try to do a flick in the middle of the park and you lose the ball. Now we're on the counter attack. Nkunku today didn't have his best game, but he still walked away with a goal. It was a poor performance from Nkunku, but I don't think he had enough service. So that's just how it's going to come down to. But again, you go to Greece, you play against a team like Panathinaikos, you win 4-1, bro. That's not easy. You go there, you do what you need to do. It's an efficient job, and we keep it moving. My man of the match, Mykhailo Mudryk. I mean, this guy is really coming into some form. He could have had, honestly, some 2 more assists already to the 5 he's already got. And now you're looking at Mudryk's contribution to the team in a different light. Nkunku scores a header against, what was it? Was it Forest? He scores that header against Forest. That's another contribution from Mudryk. But he's just looking sharper. He's looking like his actions, and his it's like everything is clicking in his head. Like he's slowing it down when he needs to slow it down. He's making the right decisions. Mudryk's passing has always been an underrated and one of his strongest attributes when it comes to passing. So I'm not surprised to see him, being intelligent with his link up play, and that ball to Felix for that first goal was just beautiful, bro. And that's something he has in his locker, but it's something he has to show us more and more and more again. But he's looking like he's getting there, slowly but surely. He's building up. Someone else I need to shout out, Badiashile, because when I've needed to criticize him, I've criticized him. But he's put on those black boots, and this guy is just keeping it simple. He's playing that pass. He sees the pass. He's playing it. He's not taking too long. He's not making all these, he's not having these bozo moments, and it's just comfortable. And another thing I realized is, even though this was our second-ish, defensive line, you didn't feel anxious when the ball went back to the goalie. And Jorgensen, for me, has to really get more starts in this team, because I'm sorry, like, nah. Sanchez cannot keep getting away with this. Jorgensen kept it pretty simple. Passing was crisp. The goal we conceded, it's a nicely worked goal. Like, Jorgensen can't really do much about it. They broke our line. They played a good pass across, finish. But again, Jorgensen did what he had to do, and I'd like to see him, honestly get a run of games in the team now till he also starts dropping bozo moments, and then you bring Sanchez back. But the peace of mind I had watching Jorgensen in this game, please, I need that again against Newcastle, because Sanchez, now he's had his opportunity and has really blown it. So I want to see what Jorgensen can offer. I want to see what Jorgensen can do, and just keep it moving, man. We went in, got the 3 points, 4 goals. We're top of the that table now, as expected we would be. Like, it's unfortunate we were 6th last match day, but we're back where we need to be. And we just moved to Newcastle, so I'm just impressed with how Maresca is really just rotating the team, and I'm surprised really that he went with Cucurella and Vega. Does that mean either of them doesn't start against Newcastle this weekend? Honestly, hopefully not, because we just have a much better balance when you play either Vega or Cucurella on that left side. I don't want to see Gusto in that left back position again. It's just, it doesn't work for me. When he inverts, it doesn't look as good. It's not as crisp and clean as Cucurella or Vega. So hopefully one of these guys is, either Vega or Cucurella is ready to go again. I'll say Cucurella because he didn't play the last game, and he should be able to play 2 games in a week. So can Vega. So I think we should be fine for this weekend. But guys, this has been my match review. Dominant performance. We did what we need to do. And of course, let me touch on Man United really quickly. Went to Turkey, drew with Fenerbahce. Could have lost this game, honestly. And I don't know what it is about Man United, or Ten Hag for that matter, but it's, watching United right now, just for some reason reminds me so much of like the Frank Lampard second, was it the second or third return, when we just kept losing every game and we just played horrible football. This reminds me of that time under Frank. It's just terrible to watch. It's really painful to watch. It's a crime against humanity. Like, this should be one of this should be added into one of the basic human rights, because that football is awful, bro. It's terrible. As a United fan, United fans, I really sympathize. I empathize with you, because I know you guys still have to watch, support your team. I've been there. A lot of us have been there, but this is not good enough. Like, there's no style of play. It's just whatever patterns pop up. when they score a goal, it's good play from one player to the other. You score a goal, and it's just, bro, you got this Fenerbahce team. You got Fred, and then you got El Nasiri just moving crazy, bro. Like, oh my god, this is awful. I look, I don't know why Ten Hag is still here, but he's still here. I sympathize with you guys, man. It's hard. It's hard being a United fan right now. I can imagine, but I can't even say long may this continue because that's just a terrible thing to say. But United are awful. And again, jeez, I don't even know what to say, man. Good luck to you guys. That's all I can say. You know, like the video, sub to the channel, share the content, hop in the comments. Let me know who your man of the match was. Let me know how you just felt about the game in general, because I think it was really sweet, effective. We did what we needed to do, and that was it. So, guys, I'm going to see you on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.